whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello and welcome to episode 24, part 2 of Student Journals. Today I get to introduce to you Roxy. Little Roxy, our Rockin' Roxy 4th grader who agreed today to let me share her journal with you. This is front and back, and I want to be sure, I'm going to say it right now so that I don't forget to tell you that you have to cover these journals with, you get the rolls of it, clear, permanent, self-adhesive, and we get ours, this entire roll will last one teacher for years. We get them from Office Depot at a discount. So Roxy's teacher hasn't learned how to do this yet, so I'm covering all of her I'm covering all of her journals for her. But it's really easy. If you know how to cover a book cover, you can just pull off the back and you can figure that out. I'm not going to show you how to do that today. But so here we go with, I cannot imagine, I've been using student journals for 25 years. You know, I lose track of the years of when I started journals, but I started them in the middle school long ago, and they've evolved over the years. They're just better all the time. But and so I have included, I want to make sure that I say this today for your benefit. Under Posters for Schools with Heart, I've included, I just love it that I did this for you. I feel so happy that I got all of these masters. Here they come. All of the masters that I'm showing you right now that are in these journals are right here in this book. Gotta get it. Gotta get this book. The only thing you have to change is the year, when the year changes, and your school goes here. So there you go. Of course, you don't have to have those. You can make up your own, but why make them up when there's something that's already good? So here's Roxy's darling picture, and that's the cover page. So that's the cover page, and this is the poem that they've all learned, I Can. This is a growth mindset poem that you absolutely, our second graders are learning this. They can learn it in 3 days. It's so easy. And it's just, I wish I had written this poem myself. On the back is the second poem that they absolutely learn, and this is an SEL. I have to live with myself, and so I want to be fit for myself to know. And the end says, whatever happens, I want to be self-respecting and conscience-free. And so it's important for kids to learn poetry. You don't have to have those poems in there. You can add more poems. There are no rules for how to do this journal. This just happens to be the way that I love to do it. And the kids love it too. And this is cardstock. You know, you can use any color cardstock. Pink. I just always use yellow because black shows up so good on yellow. It's so bold. And so the kids, as the kids get older, they're old enough to glue their own in there. The second, third graders, I glue these in myself. But the older they get, the more that they can glue them in themselves. So this double page here is on Roxy's goals, and I'm going to read you her goals. She has her emotional intelligence goals, that is her Heart Smart goals, come right from the emotional intelligence IQ inventory that I showed you on in 2 videos ago. And she says, this year I will gain control of my behavior. I will tell the truth. These are all from the inventory, that long inventory. I will begin to admit when I'm wrong. I will say I'm sorry right away. I will solve conflicts peacefully right away. I will listen to my heart's voice and do the right thing. I will respect my parents. I will obey the first time with a right heart. And I will have a growth mindset. That's pretty awesome, wouldn't you say, a 9-year-old to have those goals. And then she has family goals. For her family goals, this year I will help around the house more. And when we do family goals and school goals, we have brainstorming with the whole class on the day that I help the kids set their family goals. I wrote them all on the board. Kids say, oh, I could do this and this and this and this, and I write them all on the whiteboard, and almost all the kids pick their goals from right up there. They all have the same goals at home. They're all doing the same things. She needs to be nicer to her sister. Roxy knows that her big sister is in 6th grade, and they fight a lot, I guess. She wants to work on that. She wants to keep my room cleaner. That's good. She wants to get the eggs with no attitude. And she wants to feed the dogs. She has a new puppy, and she's going to be really responsible about that. And then her school goals are make more friends at school, be in sports, always be happy, make sure to do Wednesday work, and learn long division. So those are her school goals. And she's a straight A student. She probably had a hard time thinking of school goals, but those are really good school goals for a student who's already doing well. She didn't say something like respect the teacher or listen to the teacher or do my work or do my best, because she does her best on everything. So those are her goals. Okay. And so the first thing you do at the beginning of the year is you do your emotional IQ inventory with the kids, then you do the family goals, then you do the school goals, and you have them all, you give them these masters on regular white paper, right? And they get it all written perfectly, best spelling, everything, and then they transpose them onto the yellow, into the cardstock when they've got it all down, okay? And so I don't have that to show you, but I'm just saying make masters, lots of white masters, right from the poster book, and they write everything down at the beginning on that white paper. And then they just throw it away, and here it is on here. Glue it in. All right, then you're going to teach your kids how to, here's the exciting part. So these journals have two main foci, as if there's such a word. And one is that these journals keep the kids focused on their goals. If you set goals with the little ones, and you talk about it in class, and then you never talk about it anymore, they're absolutely going to forget their goals. Adults are the same way. So this is a way that you help the kids, hold them accountable for working on their goals by incorporating them into writing. Okay, so I've helped the teachers. I brought these goals up to the school where we are right now, and taught the teachers how to do this. And I'm teaching the teachers how to teach writing. And the journals are indispensable tools for being able to do that. So I've provided on these double pages journal topic sentences. Topic sentence tells the reader what the whole paragraph is about. So they don't have to pick their paragraph, their topic sentence from one of these, but these are really awesome ways for the kids to start a journal entry. I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a second. Today I was all about others. Okay, so that's the first one. Today I was all about others. Now, the first thing they have to do is they have to pick 3 ways that they were all about others. And they have to write, those are called their 3 main ideas. And then they have to, before they ever start writing, I teach the teachers to teach the kids that you don't start writing until you have a plan. And so step 1 is you pick your topic sentence, read through it and pick a topic sentence, and pick 3 main ideas to go with it. So I'm going to now show you Roxy's first entry here. She did not pick a topic sentence from the list here. She chose, I love school. Okay? She's now going to say the 3 reasons she loves school. Before she ever started writing this, she wrote them down here. She wrote teachers, classmates, and lunch. Those are her 3 main ideas down at the bottom of the page. And she has circled teachers. And the reason she circled teachers is because it's her most important main idea, and she's saving it for the last. She's saving it because they save the best for last. That's what I teach them. That way the reader remembers the last thing they read was the most important thing of all. So, listen to She's just getting started here. She doesn't have a lot of transitions necessarily, not advanced transitions, but I'm going to read you what she wrote, and you will see that this is, she was 8 years old when she wrote this. She's turned 9 this year since she wrote this. I love school, she says. To begin with, the food here is exquisite. My favorite meal is the chili and grilled cheese with tomato soup. We're teaching them that they start with a topic sentence, then they have their first transition, they have their first main idea, and the 4th graders have to have at least 1 supporting detail. When they get to 8th grade, they have to have like 10 supporting details, a full paragraph developed in a 5-paragraph expository essay. But when they're small like this, we are so happy when they just write 1 solid paragraph. Then she says, I like the beans in the chili. And then she says, additionally, okay, so there's her second main idea. Additionally, comma, my classmates are the best. That's her first main idea. Supporting detail, all of my classmates have a right heart and care for each other. And now she's going to have 2 supporting details. If one of us gets hurt, everyone else will come over and make sure they're okay. Last but not least, no, she says, last but most important, that's her 3rd transition, I love my teachers. That's her first main idea. For supporting details, they are the best. They are so nice, and I get them a piece of cake to show how much I appreciate them. So she has 3 short, sweet supporting details. And here now her summary statement. Because I love school, I hope to stay here until I graduate. Summary statement. So, and then I just wrote a couple comments here. So her next entry was much, much longer. I'm not going to read it. She, as one of those kids who loves to write. And so, with this journal, 1 day at a time. Well, let me turn the page and show you something here. I see on the back here. She has her this is her grit goal. I gave them back. I'm soon going to be doing some videos on grit. I made a curriculum around grit. It's awesome. Grit is the ability to passionately pursue a goal for an extended period of time despite adversity and failure. Kids with grit don't quit. And so I have a lot in the poster book about grit and the grit interviews, etc. But anyway, I made a great bulletin board for the hall with these. This is one, hers from last year. Her grit goal from last year, grade 3, was goal, I will be kind to my sister. Guess what? Her grit goal this year is the same one. She's still working on her sister. And I tell the kids, that could be your grit goal till you grad. You just never know how long that will take. But anyway, I gave them back last year's grit goal, and she put it in her journal. I think that is so cute. And every year she'll have her grit goal from the year before in her journal. You can see that there's a lot of pages left, and she will be using this same journal all the way through 5th grade. She may make a new journal in 6th grade and have it for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Well, it depends on how much she writes. But for now, this is her journal that she has started as a 3rd grader. The 3rd grade teacher gave this to the 4th grade teacher. She just went right up and her journal was made. It's awesome. When you get a new student, you have all your masters in a great file, you just have, or maybe you're going to make, for example, I always made blank journals in advance. I always had like 5 blank journals, nothing written in them whatsoever. So that if I got a new student, I just handed them. I said, this is your journal. It was so easy that way. And it took me a couple years to figure out, the trouble it takes to get a new student and to get them in at lunch or after school or whatever and make a journal for them. So while all the other kids are making their journals, I just make some spares. And that's what this is. And so that is really good advice. So Roxy will see the progression of how she has become, her writing has become so much more advanced. Last week, I gave them, her class, a lesson in really powerful transitions, like furthermore, moreover, nevertheless, therefore, etc. And she loved that lesson. So her new journal entries will have those advanced transitions in them. So once a quarter, you collect all the journals, and you go. And you can do it more often than that. You can do it once a month or whatever, and circle punctuation. You know, leave all kinds of positive remarks about how proud you are, et cetera, et cetera. But they come in to class. This is the way I recommend. Your students come to class in the morning, and the first thing they do is get out their journals. The first thing they do before they ever start to write is that they read every one of their goals. They do not start writing until they read all their goals to remind themselves every day what their goals are. And then they pick a journal topic that fits a goal. You see, what they write about has to connect with their goals. Isn't that beautiful? It's magnificent. It's a great way to teach kids how to write. As long as we're talking about one paragraph. Now, when they get older, 7th, 8th grade, our 7th, 8th graders are right now writing 5-paragraph expository essays, but they're still writing their daily journal entry. And they're like, this is what you do at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the day. And maybe not every single day. I did when I taught at the middle school, it was 5 days a week. Journals. It was the way it was. While they're working on their journals, on their writing, I'm doing, whatever, this, that, or the other, getting ready for class to begin. But it's totally quiet as everyone works on their journals. I have students who tell me when I run into them, I still have my journal, Miss LaField. I love my journal. They're so personal. They're truly personal and precious. And so I hope that gives you a sense of what you can do to get your kids writing every single day and incorporating the focus that you maybe just taught them of how to use a semicolon. You can say, I want you to use a semicolon in this entry today, and et cetera, et cetera. So hold them accountable to incorporate what you teach them to have it into their journal entries. And there's no excuse for saying, I don't know what to write about, because they have all those goals and they have all those journal topics to choose from. The more kids are, the more they're tuned into school and the more they care about their learning, etc., the more they're going to love their journals. And I always have a few kids who they're not connected to their journal at all because they're not connected to school. And you can't make them care. You just can't make them, and you just got to get excited about the ones who love their journals and write, and do your best to encourage those that don't so much. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am so excited about our next focus, and I'm thinking it's grit. I'm pretty sure. I kind of have a blank right now, but anyway, this is it for journals. I hope I covered that. Be sure and get the poster book so you can get rolling on your journals. And, you can, over the summer, glue it all in yourself and have it all ready to go for the kids. And it's not a big deal. It's not hard to get them cut and glued in there and ready to go. There you go. I love journals. I hope you do too. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.